What's going on YouTube? It's Donnie BLD. So this is going to be a little different from my regular scheduled program. I went out yesterday. I went to Tucson and was getting some shopping done and some getting the stuff I need to get done. And while I was there, we went to this plaza and she wanted to go into some of the stores like the Marshalls and all that crap. And so I figured, all right, well, I don't really need to go in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Sportsman's Warehouse because it's a really cool store. And I'm just going to go look at stuff. I didn't need anything. I didn't want anything. I wasn't about to buy anything. I will say this. When the last time I was out gun shopping, what I was looking for was a commander's size of this. This is a 22 1911. And as everybody who follows me knows, I shoot a lot of 22. I love it. I'm not ashamed to say it. I love the 22 round. I get a lot out of it. It costs almost nothing to shoot, and if you use good ammo, like Federal Punch, these things are amazing. And I'll tell you, do I have any 38 specials sitting around here? Just what's probably in my 38 special. I have some stuff over there, but I'll show you something. If you have a non-hollow tipped 38, just a full metal jacket, which kind of looks, actually we'll use the 9 millimeters, probably a better example. If you have a 9 millimeter full metal jacket, kind of looks just like this. I mean, when it hit, it doesn't really expand unless it's about to hit something real hard. It doesn't expand. This will blow right through something. This round, this Federal Punch, the expansion is so big on this when it hits that it gets to the diameter really close and pretty much to a 38 special, which is going to be close to that. So you're talking about if you shot something fleshy with this, it would go straight through and it would make a certain size hole. If you shot the same fleshy substance with this, it would make about the same size hole, except it probably wouldn't leave and it could ricochet. Now, a lot of people are against a 22 round and they say, oh, it doesn't have stopping power and this and that. Well, I mean, if Bigfoot attacks you at an ATM and you got some Sasquatch problems, a shot to the head, a shot to the heart is all it takes. It's all it takes. People worry about stopping power. People survive all the time getting hit with 9 millimeters and 45s and shoulders and different things. You see a guy will get 3 gunshots and survive. The 22, if you talk to any EMT or you talk to any emergency room people, the most damage that they have to deal with comes from shots from a 22 round. Imagine that. They're dirt cheap. You can fire them off. There's no recoil. So when you shoot a 22, you are on target, pop, 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 every time, all the time, without question. And that's the beauty of it. Generally, you're gonna have a really accurate round. And as long as you get good ammo, you will be crazy consistent. Now, I use a lot of, let's see, these are some Winnies, but I don't usually use the Winnies as much. More Federal Punch. So here we go. I use a lot of mini mags, CCI mini mags. These are fantastic. And I use a lot of Federal Punch, which I have 2 boxes open, don't know why, which are just absolutely great. The Federal Punch can be used as a self-defense round, no doubt about it. I also have some of these that I shoot out of revolvers. These are some Winchester Subsonics. They do the job for what you need it to, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about if you feed a 22 with good ammo. Everybody listens to people talk from the 1980s, and they say, oh, but the ammo is so inconsistent, and you're going to have a lot of misfires, and blah, 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 blah. It's not true. With today's ammo, like I'm showing you these mini mags, Stingers, the Federal Punch, today's ammo is just going to run. It is going to run great. And you're not going to have that failures are those failures like the olden days when you used to get that milk carton full of rounds and you just pour them out into your hand. If your rounds aren't coming in a plastic box like this and they're not stacked like this, you're probably buying the wrong rounds. If you like, I have some in a closet that I used for a 1022 Ruger because that thing will just fire anything. But if you have good modern ammo, your 22 is going to fire as efficiently as anything else. You're more likely to have failures with a 45 than you are with a really good 22 round. And that's fact. So getting back to where we started, I had no plans on buying a gun. I was looking at another 1911, either a commander size or a government size, just because I like to build up some guns and I like to custom build and do my own paint and all that. So I was thinking about getting another 1911 and doing some flashy stuff all over it. And I thought a 22 would be perfect because I personally carry a lot of 22s. And it's not for self-defense against people so much because where I live, we don't really have any problems like that. But we hike a lot and you'll get coyotes and wolves and mountain lions and rattlesnakes. I just move. But we get some animals out there, javelina, that can cause you a problem. And for the most part, a lot of times just making a loud bang is going to make the animal run away. But why would I want to spend $1 a bang? You know what I mean? A 22 round is so cheap. If I shot a 45 just to scare away a group of coyote, then I'm wasting expensive ammo. So I go into the store and I'm looking around and I go into the Glock section. I'm a big Glock fan. Not only am I a big Glock fan, but this is my 9mm. I know you're saying, "Oh, look at that Glock is nice." No, it's not a Glock. This was a gun I actually had to build. I had to build the whole thing. There's nothing in the chamber, but you can see I got some pretty deadly rounds in the mag. But yeah, this was an 80%er. This is a charging handle. If anybody wonders what that ring is, you could just, it's awesome. I wanted to make something just crazy looking. So I built this. This was a really cool custom build and I loved it. And I had a Glock 23, but somebody really wanted it. So I sold it. And then I was like, man, I really want to get another Glock. That's when I saw this, the G44. This thing checks all my boxes. First of all, it's Glock precision. The whole thing. I haven't really taken it out of the box yet. This thing's brand new. I can't work my thumb very well. My mag release is still sticky because it's unused. This is a brand new out of the box firearm. It is awesome. This is a 22 long rifle Glock. And supposedly it's supposed to be one of the best 22s ever made. And I really want to find out. But the exact size, I'll use this one as an example because I have it here, but it's the exact size of your standard Glock. So it's going to fit, like if you have a Glock 19, it's going to fit the Glock 19 holster. It comes with extra back straps so I can make it bigger for my hand, which I really like. It comes with an extra mag. You have your hard case. But I saw this in the store and I was like, gotta have it. Here's where I made my mistake. I bought it at Sportsman's Warehouse. I normally go to my local gun shops in like Sierra Vista, Arizona, and I buy there. But I went to Sportsman's Warehouse. Nothing wrong with it. The prices weren't bad. It was $3.59, the same as it is on Palmetto State Armory. But the process takes forever. They have this store policy where you fill out your federal background check to make sure you're not a criminal, make sure you've never been convicted of a crime, or make sure you're not wanted, make sure you're a U.S. citizen. So they do. I know liberals like to think you can just, Arizona is a gun state, so you can just walk into a store and buy a gun. You don't even get a federal back. No, it's not true. It's not true. You got to, every time you buy a gun in Arizona, you have to pass a federal background check every single time. unless you're buying from a private party. But when you buy brand new from a gun store, you have to do it. So you fill it all out in the computer, then they have to print it out, then they have to go over everything, then the person has to sign it to make sure that all the information is right and they didn't screw up anything on their end. Then they have to call somebody to back up to come over and read it all to make sure they didn't screw up. And they have to sign it to say that the person who signed it originally didn't screw up. It's a process. It took forever, but it was worth it because I got my new Glock and I am super excited. So what I want to do is just throw some rounds in here. I'm probably going to throw some cheaper rounds in here because it's break-in. So if I do have a failure, I am using the crappy rounds at first, but then I will load up. I'll load up one mag of cheap stuff and one mag of Federal Punch. Now remember, this has got everything. If you're a Glock shooter, every single thing about this is the same as any Glock you'll ever own or have ever owned. The difference is this one is so lightweight. I'm talking, it is like way this weighs the same amount as like your Glock 19. This thing is crazy light. It's phenomenally light. So let me load some rounds in, go shoot a couple mags just to test it out. All right, so this first mag I loaded up. It's got 5 mini mags, some good rounds, but then it has 5 subsonic rounds, which you never shoot through a semi-auto because they're less power and they don't generally have enough power to pull back the slide. I'm really interested to see if it's going to work the slide. I put in 0 lubricants, so this is going to be dry straight out of the box just to see how good it's going to fire. So let's I'm just gonna point and shoot so you guys could see how the gun operates, and I'm just gonna shoot straight into the ground. And that went from mini mags to subsonic without missing a beat. Subsonic rounds suck for this. It's not made for it. But I have so much confidence in this because I did a whole bunch of research on this gun before to find out if it's something that would be worth it. And I have to say, that handled those rounds expertly. That was actually really nice. And I was expecting the first 5 rounds to come through without a hitch. But then I thought, all right, well, let's see if I get stuck or how long it takes me to get stuck. I figured maybe the first one will be good. The second one wouldn't. They all went through. Let me go set up a little plastic bottle down there. Hold on. All right, so these next 10 rounds will be mainly just to see where these sights are lining up. I think they're lining up pretty good. I do believe. All right. Let me clear it. Hold on. All right, so I was aiming at this little blue spot and I hit it. That's without knowing anything about these sights. So now maybe I'll just rattle off a couple rounds. Downrange, on target. That's the beauty of a 22. That's the beauty of Glock. This is every bit of Glock precision that it's supposed to be. Freaking phenomenal. It feels amazing in the hand because it feels Glock. It's just Glock. And knowing that I can rattle off, I feel like I'm yelling, I can rattle off round after round and it not be an issue. They'll just keep going. And it's going to be dirt cheap to shoot. That's fantastic. This little gun right here, it's really a 22. Unless you're hunting big game, a 22 is all you need. This is big. I mean, there's been guys have killed wild boar and a deer I've watched videos of a 10-22 Ruger. The 22 is big enough. It's big enough to defend yourself. It's big enough to warn off critters. And the main thing is, if you do this with an assailant, all they see is this. They don't know what's inside. They don't know not to be scared. They just see, oh, that guy is armed, especially if you just lift your shirt and you just show it. Hey, you know what I mean? You don't want to mess with it. They're not going to know. They're not going to know the difference. This thing right here is freaking awesome, man. I am super excited. Just Glock precision. Everything about it is just as it should be. This right here is a great 22. I've watched plenty of videos, so I knew even beforehand going into this video that this was going to be a fantastic handgun. This is a fantastic handgun. To shoot through subsonic rounds without it even blinking, I'm telling you, man, that is awesome. And for $359, to have a piece that A, is less loud, B, is going to be crazy accurate, C, is going to keep you on center mass, so you can rattle off. You don't do this, boom, find it, boom, find it. You're just going boom, 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 boom. There's no finding center mass when you shoot with this. It's already there. That's one of the beauties of it. You do have the rail attachment, so if I wanted to throw something on there, I could. But I'll tell you what, this thing is so good. These sights are so good. I mean, it's absolute, I'm trying to do this backwards, it's absolute Glock. Absolute Glock. I am completely impressed with this little gun. This is going to be all I need to get around. You know what I mean? So a lot of guys will carry that 9mm, and you got to worry about the round going through and then finding someone else. Not with this. Not with this. I'll tell you what, you might be able to get 3 rounds on target with that 9mm on a target that's shifting and moving. I'm going to land all 10 with this thing. All 10. And those rounds are going to bounce off a bone and shift inside of a Bigfoot body and cause some crazy unreversible damage. This is the Glock G44, and this is an awesome firearm. Hi, I'm Donnie all day. Until next video.